Okay, we're going to go over how to add your school calendar to your Google site. So that way the parents, students, whoever wants to see your calendar can view that on your site. So we're going to do a couple things. First, we're going to go to, we're here in my email. I have everything hidden just so you don't have to see the thousands of emails that I have. But once you're in your email, we go up to the 9 boxes at the top. And then we're going to click on Sites, which is down here in the bottom left. Once you're in your sites, this is all the sites that either you've created yourself or ones that you have access to and you can edit. I'm going to use this one because this one's just my test page, so that way we can kind of go over what to do. What we're going to do is we're going to add the calendar into the main portion of the site, which is right here in the middle. Right, you have the navigation bar, which is on the left side, and then you have the main body of it here on the right. The way that you do this is you hit the pencil, so that way you can edit the page, and then you're going to decide on where you want to put the calendar. So if you want it at the top of the page, you make sure the cursor is at the top. If you want it down here at the bottom, just make sure it's at the bottom. Just basically put it where you want it to. If you wanted it in between these two lines, you can do that as well. So I'm just going to put it here at the top just to make it easy. Once I have the clicker where I want, then I'm going to go to Insert, and then we're going to go to Calendar under Google. And this gives me a list of all the calendars that are in my list. So these are ones that I have access to, either that I've created or I can edit myself. So I'm just going to use this first one right here, Brendan.Grell. This is my personal one, or this is just my regular one. We're going to hit select. And then you do have the option to display another calendar within the same calendar. Now, I know some teachers that have done this where they will put multiple calendars within one where it'll just show, more than one entry on each day. I wouldn't recommend it whenever it comes to students and parents. The reason is because at the bottom of the calendar, it is going to have the option to add that calendar to your own calendar. So that way they can basically follow you. If you put in multiple calendars, then it'll follow multiple calendars at the same time. So I would recommend, if you are making calendars for each one of your classes, like let's say if you're going to do one for Algebra 1, one for Geometry, and one for Algebra 2, if you teach all those things, then I would do separate calendars for each one. So I would leave everything the same as you want to. If you want to change the title, you can. So let's say I want to call this Algebra 1 Pre-AP. You can if you want to. You can also take it off if you want to as well by clicking there. So we're going to hit save. You are going to get a gray box like that right here. And it's not going to actually show the calendar until I hit the save button up at the top. So don't worry that it doesn't show anything, just hit save. Once you hit save, the calendar will pop up, and it is in a month format. So here's my calendar currently. It's always going to default to be on the day that it is. If they need to go forward or back, you can go forward and back all you need to. You can change it to week view and also look at just the agenda. Most parents and students are just going to keep it in the view that it's in, and they can, like, let's say if this one, I'm just going to click on it, it'll show what pops up or whatever details you added in your calendar, which we covered in the other video. If the parents or the students want to add this calendar to their own calendar, all they need to do is click this button here that says plus Google Calendar, and it will add it to their list, which it'll show up in other calendars under your calendar. So we'll go over here to the calendar menu, and it'll show up here under other calendars if they're doing it from the website. If they're doing it from their phone, it'll just pop up on their phone just to show as active. So if you post something on there, it'll show up on their calendar as well. So again, if you have multiple classes that you had to add another calendar for, you just go to the edit button, make sure it's open. Right now this is clicked in front of it, so this is going to add a calendar in front of this calendar. If you wanted to go after, just click after. Same process, go to insert calendar, pick the calendar you want to. We'll just click this one and hit save, and then the other one pops up as well. So it's okay if you have multiple calendars stacked, because they are going to have the names at the top, so that way they know which one is which. Just tell them to make sure that they always look at the right one. So